I'm Sandy Steinman, President of Background Checks Express, your one-stop source for accurate, accessible, and affordable background checking. This week we saw an interesting twist in what has become an epidemic of employers being sued for violations of the Fair Credit Reporting Act while background checking their applicants, and in specific, what they do when an adverse record is found. I'm going to show you three missteps that turned a company from being an employer into a defendant. Sounds like magic, right? Well, it's not good magic. In this case, the plaintiff interviewed with Aerotech Staffing Company, and in October 2012, they had him sign a disclosure and release form. And I can already hear you saying, Sandy, they did the right thing. They had him sign the disclosure and release form before doing their background checking. Sounds right so far. Well, here's where the wheels started to fall off. According to the plaintiff, he got a job at United Healthcare through Aerotech and began working there in early November. He worked there for 3 weeks and was paid by Aerotech. So far, so good? Well, here's the first mistake. Note that he was hired and started the job before any background checking was done. That situation is always dangerous for the employer, because what do you do when something bad pops up in the background check? A lot of room for mistake. Well, it wasn't until around November 20th, 2012 that Aerotech requested a consumer report about the plaintiff. I don't know the name of the background checking company, but they are part of the problem. About 10 days later, the employment agency received a criminal history background report on the plaintiff, which allegedly contained inaccurate information reporting 2 felonies and 3 misdemeanors, in addition to a number of personal information items that belonged to at least 2 other people. And this is the second mistake. Obviously, the background checking firm did not do their due diligence and ensure the information was correct before reporting it. The plaintiff maintains he has no criminal record and has never been arrested or charged with a crime. And in fact, the record was corrected within about 2 weeks from the plaintiff disputing it with the background checking firm. Now comes the third mistake. The day they received the incorrect report, Aerotech told the plaintiff he could not return to work because of the crimes on the record. They said, "You're out of here, buddy." And it wasn't until about a week later that the plaintiff received a notice of intent to take adverse action, which included a copy of his background check. And this is the corner in which Aerotech painted themselves by hiring the plaintiff before the background check was complete. So now they owed him the duty of providing him with a pre-adverse notice, along with a report and a copy of his rights before he was terminated. They just didn't handle it right. The way they handled it, the plaintiff never had a chance to dispute the record and actually have an effect on his employment possibilities. So you can see, it only takes a couple of mistakes, 2 by the company and 1 by the background checking firm in this case, to place a company in a very precarious position. It's going to cost them money, and it's going to cost them a lot of money. I guarantee you this will turn into a class action lawsuit where everybody who was ever denied employment from Aerotech will be part of the class. If you're an employer, I hope you follow this series of videos, because what you learn here could well keep you out of court or keep you from hiring the wrong person, and that's certainly our mission. If you have any question about background checking or want to find out how we can help you comply with FCRA violations, just feel free to call me at 844-SCREEN-NOW, that's 844-727-3366, or email me at sandy@backgroundchecksexpress.com. In the meanwhile, be safe, hire safe, and I'll see you in the next video.